up, y'all? I'm Kagami Furi, the #1 rocker idol in town from Lucid Multimedia, and today we're gonna be playing Marvel Rivals, but first we have a really special thing going on here. So we're actually gonna start our very first Marvel Rivals spectating stream. So just like disclaimer, this series is gonna be completely fully for like entertainment. I am not a coach, okay? I just like happened to get into Celestial and I thought this would be really fun to do. So without further ado, we have our very first submission. We got Valilla Senpai here. They had a very, very short and like sweet description here. They banned my Venom. Obviously, they're a Venom one-trick. And like Marvel Rivals isn't really a game I would recommend to like one-trick in. I think it's like fine to one-trick if you just want to like chill and have fun. But yeah, if you really want to like climb, especially through like GM, I would make sure to like have at least one character in each role that you can play. I mean Psylocke, right? But I also have Hela and Star-Lord that I can play for DPS. And for tank, I can also play Penny, but I've also been like learning how to play Strange. And for support, which you guys know that support is my weakest role, right? I still like know enough Luna or Mantis to like play when I need to. So having all of these picks in your pocket really helps you be more like flexible and win a lot more. And like sometimes it doesn't even have to be like a team comp thing. If I'm just like not feeling it on Psylocke, I'll swap to like Hela sometimes and just start popping off. It can literally just be a vibes thing. So I am like curious to see like what you do on Magneto. And it looks like we have a fan on the other team. A Furikake, you know? That's my fan name, by the way. The Furikakes. You guys are all my Furikakes. Which team bans Venom? No way, your own team banned Venom from you? Wait, what? What even happened? What the fuck? What did you do to these poor people to make them hate you so much? They have a Moon Knight who just instantly dies, okay? Amazing. You know, that's just like, you know, it's just normal tank gameplay. I don't think you needed to use that bubble super early on, but like... How long did they not notice this guy for? Wait. How long was he back here? Okay, he starts being back here. Your Punisher immediately turned around. Okay. He's here for such a long time, though. I don't even know what to say to that, honestly. Bro, they hate you so much. Nice. Okay. You do kind of get like a really like tunnel visioned on the tanks sometimes. It would have been better if you like turned your camera up to like aim at the Namor and like pressure the Namor a bit. Because their Namor just kind of like gets to live back there for free. I do think it might have been better to like ult a little earlier, like in the game, but so yeah, no, they're gonna have their cloak ult and you're not gonna really be able to do anything about it. So you could have either like saved it for a better time or like used it earlier. Why did their Magneto throw their ult at you? What did you do to deserve all of this? Oh wait, I think I know what happened. Wait. If you look back here, right? You can see... Oh, I see. And they try to go for the cloak and they hit you instead. This is just kind of like standard tank. You're just kind of like standing there. Do you think like target priority might be good? Because Magneto does a lot of damage. He can pressure like DPS and supports a lot. But I do also kind of get like when you're not like super familiar with the character, you can kind of start like losing track of what's going on because you're too busy like trying to figure out what the buttons do. You're trying to like remind yourself what the buttons do. This is gonna work! Let's go! You did it! That's crazy! Nice! Right at this point, when you notice like everyone's in front of you, I would get the fuck out and like use my shield here. Because now that you just kind of get like free reign because you're the only tank that exists. It's also like you have a Scarlet Witch. Sorry, I forgot their name. I would honestly, at this point, I would focus more on like enabling your DPS. Because you're kind of like up and like pressuring a lot, which is good. And you can use your bubble to like enable like DPS ults and stuff. So you can like you can enable the Scarlet Witch ult. I keep forgetting her name. I think at this point you are like focusing way too much on their tanks. Because there's a whole fight going on back there. And you're just kind of like sitting here like meleeing their Thor. And then by the time you decide to like walk up and look at their backline, your Panther's like all out of cooldowns, all of your teammates have backed up already. So now you're kind of like alone here in this push. Guys, what's happening? What's happening? What the fuck is happening? I feel like you kind of like did that instinctively because you heard the Loki ult. I do feel like you kind of jumped the gun a bit with that ult. Wait, the Loki copied a Squirrel Girl, are you what? It's like you hear a Loki ult, there's no like guarantee that it's gonna be a support. Even if it is, you kind of want a couple seconds to make sure that it's a support ult and make sure that their supports are ulting. Also like having like a plan, like who are you going to like target with that. Feels like sometimes you're going in autopilot, putting more attention on squishies and backline when you can. Like looking at tanks can be good, but only like if you are able to kill the tanks or if there's like nothing else to do. Otherwise, you should honestly just be looking at their supports and their DPS. And also like using things less like instinctively, like looking around and waiting and seeing with your eyes that something is happening before using an ability. Yeah, I do think you have like a good like foundation on Magneto and like knowing when like what to do on Magneto. Guys! This is gonna be a pattern in like most of my videos or like most of my streams. Whenever I see a Penny player, holy shit! Why are you putting your nest there? Why is your nest there? You're trying to go for like a huge like 7 million kill? But like as soon as your nest goes down, that's like you can't use that for another like 20 seconds. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. A little bit of a... Okay, that's a good spot for their Penny nest. Except it's not really a good spot now that your team is pushed up. So you have your ult here. By the time you build your ult, by the way, I'm pretty sure... I don't know if it still does that, but I'm pretty sure Cloak ult builds faster than Magneto ult usually. So if you didn't see a Cloak ult in the first fight, probably save it for the Cloak ult here. Just kind of like a tip. I don't know what you're doing or what's going on in your mind right now. So that's just kind of like for anyone. Kind of curious why you ulted there. Because their Cloak has ult. Like if you're playing Magneto and you have ult and their Cloak hasn't ulted yet, like after the first fight, their Cloak 100% has ult. Feels like you kind of reacted to the Scarlet Witch using ult. But that's kind of where I would have kind of wanted you to like look up at her and bubble her. You're using your bubbles as kind of like a way for you to hold certain positions. You definitely should be using your bubbles mainly to save other people and like protect other people. Like right here would be a good time to like bubble someone if they're getting attacked by the squirrels, you know? Hey, there Magneto's trying to go for... Okay, so at this point, this is like one of those pictures where it's like top 10 moments before disaster. So the Cloak ult is here, and you heard the Magneto going off. I would 100% be walking in there and like trying to look to bubble your Cloak here. Because you do have bubble here. I do think that's the right play, but you know, it happens. I'm begging you, please bubble your Cloak. At this point, like, whenever Magneto goes to ult, you cannot interact with him. He's too far up for you. Best thing you can do here is kind of like look down and like find who he's trying to aim for and bubble them, you know? That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. What are we looking at right now? What is this? Okay. Here's like kind of like a thing that I see in lower ranks compared to like higher ranks. Because this is not a low rank at all. Like, this is like high diamond, low GM. Actually, no, I think that's just high diamond. But like, if you did this in like high GM or like Celestial, you would kind of just like fall over. Because there's so many places people can like go up and look at you at. So like, if they're a Squirrel Girl, instead of like jumping down here, they went up here. They could easily get an angle to shoot your Groot. If they even like went here, they would have an angle to shoot you. But yeah, honestly, like generally you want to play kind of like around here. Like around here. If it works, right? If you aren't pushing them into spawn, feel free to like push them into spawn. Okay, your team is like staying alive very good. Nice. Focus on building your ult. Okay. Oh, geez, right? Okay, nice. I don't know what you were aiming for there, but I would have waited until their cloak showed up a little bit, you know? That's unfortunate! Wait, did you win? Wait, did their team just see 9? Wait a second. Their team just see 9! Oh my god. Welcome to Diamond, everyone. I think overall it was pretty strong. I would focus much more on like poking backline instead of focusing too much on, you know, the tanks and stuff, you know? Kind of taking your time before like using your ult or like deciding to do something. Also, bubble your cloak, please bubble your cloak.